Good, happy Thursday morning, May 28, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday morning edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. It's time to rise and shine. Grab your cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy some Good Morning, New Hampshire, where we have a little bit of everything for you in this program. But first, we're going to start with the local news. So let's get this Thursday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire started. First up, 9 Granite Staters die of COVID-19, health officials say. 56 more positive cases announced, 4 in people under the age of 18. 9 more Granite Staters have died of COVID-19, health officials announced Wednesday. The announcement means 223 people have died in New Hampshire of the coronavirus on a day when official death toll across the country hit at least 100,000. Health officials said 56 more people tested positive for COVID-19, including 4 people under the age of 18. A total of 4,286 Granite Staters have tested positive for COVID-19 during the pandemic. 5 more people were hospitalized for a total of 426 since the pandemic began. Health officials said 105 people are currently hospitalized. There are 1,372 current cases of COVID-19 and at least 2,691 people have recovered, health officials said. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know information. And here is a look at that information for all of you. There are 4,286 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 1,697,459 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 223 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 426 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 100,271 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map right here of New Hampshire shows you where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 414. This map of New Hampshire shows you where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 1065. And now let's take a look at these 3 charts right here. The first chart, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. Now let's take a look at this chart here, current cases. In the purple, current COVID-19 cases. And in orange, current hospitalizations. Let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive cases of COVID-19. Total hospitalizations. Deaths, red, and blue, recovered. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. And now let's take a look at this chart here. Race/ethnicity of cases, hospitalizations, deaths, and percent of New Hampshire population. And again, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads. And prevention tips. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In national news, more than 100,000 lives lost to coronavirus in the U.S. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Good evening, and it's It's great to have you with us here on this Wednesday night, and we have marked these difficult moments together, and they have come with astonishing speed. Just 3 months into this pandemic, and tonight America has just crossed that awful milestone. The U.S. has now reached 100,000 lives lost in this country from coronavirus. As we have done every night here, the numbers, and we have said it so often, these are not just numbers, these are American lives lost. Tonight, the toll passed that 100,000 mark. The searing images that led to this moment, the early scenes, the crowded emergency rooms, the shocking vulnerabilities revealed at senior centers, nursing homes, and long-term care facilities across this country. And of course, the heartbreak for so many Americans dying alone, their loved ones not allowed into the hospital because of fears of spreading the virus. Tonight, as the country now reopens, aware of the risks and hopeful that a vaccine could be coming, what Dr. Anthony Fauci said about that today, of course, with the renewed warnings to keep our distance, our masks, even as this country reopens, to prevent further outbreaks, but to be prepared for any possible second wave. ABC's Eva Pilgrim leading us off tonight on the staggering toll.
In just 3 months, unimaginable loss across the country, from a nursing home in Washington state to overwhelmed emergency rooms in New York. 100,000 American lives lost to the coronavirus. The president traveling to Florida so far today, not addressing that milestone, but his rival Joe Biden did send out this video message.
There are moments in our history so grim, so heartrending, that they're forever fixed in each of our hearts. Shared grief. Today is one of those moments.
As the toll grows daily, states now scrambling to jumpstart their economies with a patchwork of precautions.
We are moving forward. Let us not forget the most vulnerable amongst us.
California, one of 14 states where cases are still rising. The state marking 100,000 infections, but today in most counties, salons reopening with temperature checks, gloves, and masks.
It's not burden at all. I mean, we're trying to be safe for everybody, so there's no problem.
This demonstration showing in green how droplets of saliva are reduced when wearing a mask.
Stay healthy.
Without the mask,
Stay healthy.
the mayor of Washington, D.C. urging residents to wear masks as it lifts its stay-at-home order Friday.
We know without a vaccine or a cure that we will see new infections.
Dr. Anthony Fauci today saying he is optimistic about a vaccine.
I still think that we have a good chance, if all the things fall in the right place, that we might have a vaccine that would be deployable by the end of the year.
Tonight, iconic destinations reopening. SeaWorld in Orlando on June 11th, and Disney, the parent company of ABC News, today unveiling its plan for a phased reopening of Disney World starting July 11th, including reduced capacity, face coverings for guests and employees, social distancing, and temperature and health screenings. Our Rebecca Jarvis talking with CEO Bob Chapek.
In order to go to full speed, you got to start somewhere. We're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to be very responsible in doing it.
The debate being faced by so many companies as they try to reopen in these uncertain times. And Eva Pilgrim with us tonight. And we've heard from so many Americans, Eva, who want to get back to work, but who want to be reassured that their health won't be at risk. And I know New York's Governor Cuomo today meeting with the president to talk about just that, how to restart the economy, but carefully in New York.
That's right, David. The two talked about how to supercharge the reopening here in New York, which was the hardest hit. The governor not mincing words, saying he told the president, we need help from Washington. David.
All right, Eva Pilgrim leading us off tonight. Eva.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at the coronavirus for the rest of the world. Blood clots clogged lungs of African-American COVID-19 victim, study says. Autopsies were conducted on 10 African-American patients who died from COVID-19. Today's biggest developments. Blood clots clogged lungs of black back coronavirus victim, study finds. Brazil president says Trump is sending hydroxychloroquine tablets. Russia reports record of 174 new deaths again. And India sees highest single-day rise in infections. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into business news. In business news, Dow Futures edge higher after blue chip index rallies back above 25,000. Futures contracts tied to the major U.S. market index edge higher early Thursday as investors looked to add to Wall Street's reverse gains so far this week. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into weather. First, we're going to take a look at the radar right now. And here's a look at that radar for all of you. As you can see, it is nice and clear in New Hampshire. And your weather right now is sunny, 66 degrees. And the weather for today, some sun this morning with increasing clouds this afternoon, high 84 degrees, winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life segment. In today's New Hampshire Life segment, recent college grads enter challenging job market during record unemployment, graduating into COVID-19 pandemic. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
In this life, there are only so many things you can count on.
Megan Rose Sullivan, cum laude.
This rite of passage looks very different this year, and so does the job market. College grads like Megan Sullivan are now entering.
I think I was really devastated because, second semester of senior year, you plan to have a job lined up when you graduate.
The Hudson native graduated virtually from St. Anselm College with a communications degree.
It's really hard because I was in final round interviews in March, right before everything went down. And now it's just been that much harder.
St. A's Career Development Center says she's not alone.
There are employers who typically would be extending offers or would have had students start potentially June 1st, who may now be saying, well, we're thinking more September 1st.
That's why, for the first time this year, they're reaching out to every new college grad to offer support.
We encourage them to think about reaching out to organizations and offering themselves to do projects for them or short-term gig kinds of positions.
As for student debt relief, Governor Chris Sununu says CARES Act funding may be able to help.
Because it is very COVID effective. It's similar to like a utility bill or rent, or just helping folks pay some of these debt obligations during very tough economic times.
And as for Megan, she is staying positive, focused on finding the right fit. Monica Hernandez, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And switching gears now, let's go into cooking segment. Salmon with Mediterranean quinoa salad. Let's take a look at that video from WMUR News 9.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jay Smith. I'm the executive chef down here at the Copper Door, where we just opened our outdoor dining, a beautiful space in the outside, tent, tables. We have curbside pickup, which has been a huge success, and hopefully you're going to come down here and join us, hopefully tonight. We are going to be preparing one of our most popular dishes. It is the lunch salmon with Mediterranean quinoa salad. For this dish, we're going to be using some beautiful Atlantic salmon that we have right here. We have some quinoa, red and yellow grape tomatoes that have been cut in half. We have some beautiful haricot vert, French-style green beans, which have also been cut into little segments, Kalamata olives, feta cheese, a little bit of chicken stock, and sun-dried tomato pesto. Okay, we're going to start off by getting an oil in your pan nice and hot. We're going to season the salmon fillet with a little bit of salt and pepper. Put it top side down right into the smoking pan, carefully, so the oil doesn't splash up on you. A little more seasoning. And then we're just going to let it sit there for about a minute, and then we're going to flip it over, and stick it in the oven to finish. It'll go into the oven at 450 degrees for 5 to 6 minutes to be a perfect medium well done. You're going to start off with a little bit of chicken stock to make your own, or you can just buy it at the store. It's going to be about 2 ounces, and into that we're going to add a half a tablespoon of butter. So I'm going to swirl around and melt, and then we're going to add all of our vegetable ingredients right into that. We're going to add the tomatoes. We're going to add the green beans. We're going to add the olives. We're going to let those kind of warm up through for about a minute. We're going to take the quinoa, saute this a little bit, boom, boom, just long enough for that steam from the chicken stock to kind of warm up the quinoa off throughout it. Once everything is warmed through, the final step is we're going to put in our feta cheese. Give it a nice little toss. So you get this little beautiful Mediterranean flavored quinoa salad. So we have our salmon now perfectly cooked in the oven. We're just going to lay it right over the top of the dish, like so. We're going to finish it with a nice little dab of sun-dried tomato pesto. And then we, at the restaurant, take a little bit of our famous honey shallot vinaigrette and just kind of put it right around the edge of the plate to add a little more color and flavor. Here we have our beautiful pan-roasted salmon with Mediterranean quinoa salad and sun-dried tomato pesto.
Okay, there you go. And that is your cooking segment for today. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news today, watch Tom Brady and Giselle and their son crash their TikTok challenge. Let's take a look at that video from Entertainment Tonight.
It's never wrong.
Are you even in quarantine if your kids don't crash your Zooms, TikToks, phone calls, you name it?
My apologies.
Well, that's just what happened to Tom Brady and Giselle Bündchen.
So it's never wrong.
The model launched her TikTok account on Tuesday with a cute couples challenge, but what they didn't know was that their 10-year-old son Benjamin was getting in on the fun too.
Who apologizes first after a fight? Who is the funny one?
That's Tom and Giselle sitting on a couch answering questions about each other with their eyes closed.
Who's more patient? Who eats more?
And that's Ben, hiding behind the couch, offering up his own answers.
Who is a better singer?
Okay, so they don't agree on all the answers, but they do agree on some things.
Who said I love you first? Who's more stubborn? Who eats healthier?
Yeah, Tom told that to E.T. in 2016 too.
Okay, between the two of you, which one of you has the stricter diet?
I think probably her.
Yeah.
I think she's very disciplined.
The power couple also has a 7-year-old daughter, Vivian, and the NFL star also shares a son, Jack, with his ex, Bridget Moynihan.
You know, it's a great part of my life.
In 2015, Tom opened up to E.T. about his wife and being a dad to his 3 kiddos.
She's my best friend, so I think you just, you know, we spend as much time as we can together. And, you know, it's a busy life we have. And, you know, we have 3 kids. They're just the biggest blessing in my life. I'm sure all the parents out there. And, yeah, not a day goes by where you don't laugh and smile at something that they do.
Point and case. And they aren't the only celebs having their videos crashed by their little ones.
Yeah.
Say hi. Hello.
Hello.
Say bye.
Hi.
Okay.
Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner's baby girl Stormy totally interrupted her dad's Insta Live.
With the hamburger?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
What's that?
Oh no. It's live.
And Kim Kardashian, who's quarantined with her hubby Kanye West and their 4 kids, straight up hid in the guest room to try and film a makeup tutorial.
North, can I please just do my little tutorial?
Obviously, the answer is no, guys.
It's all I want to do is one little fun thing for myself.
Oh, then there was this.
It's Kim Kardashian West, and I just wanted to talk to you.
And Northwest.
Have a serious conversation with you guys about social distancing. We have to start to train ourselves. You went outside in your backyard, and that's totally fine.
Kim filmed a PSA encouraging fans to stay home, but again, North wanted in on the action.
Can you not jump on the bed? Give me like 2 seconds to seriously do this.
Okay, there you go. And now let's take a look at those celebrity birthdays for today. Let's see which celebrities are celebrating a birthday today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities. We hope they have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. And thank you for joining us for this Thursday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See you back here next time for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.